Let's shift focus and let's try and understand what's happening within the IT sector. COVID-19 has clearly driven the development of new products, new services. TCS says that they are already at the start of a multi-year tech upgradation cycle. What does it mean for the entire sector and the opportunities thereof? Let me welcome on board DD Mishra, Senior Director Analyst at Gartner, joining in on the show right now. Mr. Mishra, morning. Great to have you on the show. COVID has certainly accelerated the digital adoption and transition to cloud. Gartner says that COVID-19 has driven the development of new products and services as well. What, according to you, are the key mega trends that you've observed post-COVID that we're going to see for the next many years to come?
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me here. And I also congratulate you for completing 12 years, 12 glorious years, I would say. To come back to the question which you have asked about the mega trends, what we have seen that last year and in the last 1 year, there has been a lot of uptake on cloud. We have seen that, there's a lot of digitalization which has happened, and that has led to a lot of growth of the Indian IT companies. We have also seen that, they have got significant pipeline at this point in time, and it looks lucrative. If I look at the overall IT services sector at this point, it is one of the, golden times, I would say, that we have not seen in the past. In the next few years, the IT services end user spending is going to grow somewhere between 8 to 9%. Which was previously in the prior to COVID era, it used to be between 4 to 6%, which has gone to 8 to 9% at this point in time. And next 3 years or 4 years is going to be very lucrative for IT services company, and that shows that COVID has created a new kind of opportunities for the IT services companies, which they have leveraged it. And the growth is going to happen towards more kind of digital services, which end users have expedited. And what we have seen that, phenomenal uptake of the digital services. We have seen that, AI ML capabilities are in big demand. We are also seeing that all the cloud enabled services are also growing. Analytics growth we are seeing. So there is all around a significant amount of changes and transformations which we are seeing, which is leading to the kind of growth which cloud has which COVID has kind of created, and this is going to continue for next 3 to 4 years. So I would say that 2021 is going to be a golden year, because the growth this year is going to be 9% around, which is going to slow down to a little bit in the next few years, but it will revolve around somewhere between 8 to 9% growth.
Sure. But Mr. Mishra, are these opportunities quantifiable for the next 2 to 3 years, or is it only on paper that things are looking up?
The analysis is based on the data which we collect, actually. So definitely it is a quantifiable data, and what we have seen that even though the IT budget remains under pressure because of the situation which has evolved, but there is a great traction for the growth. For cost optimization and operational efficiency. And so long as the initiatives revolve around all these things, the money will not be challenged for the IT organizations, and they will be able to get the funding approved by their CFOs and CEOs. What we have also seen that the budget in the other areas, other functions like marketing, like the administration or HR, etc., may shrink, and that money can get diverted into technology-enabled growth, and that is where the opportunity is even more. So the data, yes, it is quantifiable. The forecast is quantifiable forecast which we have made. But the thing is that, this forecast depends on number of factors and variables. And that is why we actually update this forecast every quarter, so that to bring in sync with the reality. And there are many unknowns to that. And that is where the forecast may change. But at this point in time, looking at whatever is unfolding, we can say that we are fairly staring at a kind of very good future. But having said so, I would say that this is also it also reconciles with the kind of pipeline which the providers are also reporting to. So if we compare the two, we understand that that things are looking more lucrative for IT services.
Okay. Mr. Mishra, hi there, good morning. Now, as per the Gartner report, the majority of technology products and services will be built by professionals outside of IT by 2024. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so this is a kind of shift actually which we have seen in last several years, that the control of spending, the technology spending, is more shifting towards the business. And when it becomes digital, the boundaries between technology and business gets blurred, and a lot of technology related decisions will be taken outside of IT, and this is going to grow. So this is not something new, but what will happen is that the trend will accelerate, because as more and more digitalization is happening, many CDOs as well as business leaders will be taking the call that how to actually drive this particular growth. And if it is product-centric growth, the technology decisions shifts from the IT departments to the business functions, and they take a call. But that doesn't mean that IT will not play any role. IT has a significant role to play over there. But having said so, the decision making and the future directions will be laid down by the business rather than more by IT.
Fair enough. Going forward, what is the kind of new category of business buyers that you see occupying a larger share of the overall IT market? Do you think that we will see demand span across industry verticals?
Yes, of course. And demand will span across industry verticals. And we see that, there are certain sectors which will continue to grow much faster than others. And depending on where situation to situation, there are new opportunities which will evolve from one sector to another sector. So at this point in time, it is hard to say that, which sector will evolve in what way. It all depends on what sort of opportunities comes into consideration. But having said so, I would say that, digital cuts across the verticals. And what we are seeing that providers are focusing on specific verticals, and some of them have built a very specific capabilities across few verticals, and that is where they can differentiate, and that is where they can become more valuable to many of the industries. We will see that that vertical specific solutions will become more in demand going further in future, and that is where the traction is more. And the providers are able to convince their customers that they understand the vertical, they understand the requirement, and they understand the market. And that is where they are able to drive further growth for themselves and trying to help their customers to become more successful in the market.
Enough. Now, just recently, Mr. Mishra, you had the TCS CEO Rajesh Gopinathan saying that they are at the start of a multi-year tech upgradation cycle. Do you think that double-digit growth is feasible from both the mid as well as the large-cap IT players over the next 2 years?
Yeah, so I would say that the dream run which you used to see earlier is no longer there. and it will be harder for having a double-digit growth because competitiveness has grown. There are a lot of factors which is impacting the growth. One is that cannibalization of revenue is also creating a lot of challenges for the companies. And in order to drive creative destruction, you have to actually accept that the growth. You have to compromise on some amount of growth as well. And that is where I see that it will be very difficult to have a double-digit growth. I would not say that it is impossible, but it will take some time to reach to that particular level, because we are going through a lot of transformation and changes at this point in time. And some can make it, but most of them will struggle to have a double-digit kind of growth, to have that kind of a growth. But having said so, I'm a bit optimistic that some of them will be able to set the narrative and will be able to make it. And it is very interesting time for the IT industry. The kind of changes which we see, and the emergence of tier 2 players who are also giving a tough competition to the tier 1 players. The cloud, the transformation, the AI, and the other things like technologies like blockchain. Technologies like edge computing, IoT, containerization, virtual reality, all these things will become more and more relevant for the end customers, and they will try to spend more on those technologies. Cybersecurity will become very important, and one of the things which I would also like to bring it here is that, which is often ignored, is the sustainability. And sustainability is becoming a key theme across the industry, and this is an area where we cannot ignore sustainability. What we have seen that there has been significant growth in terms of importance of sustainability in our CEO surveys, and it is going to continue to increase. And one of the report which I published last year indicated, and that is where I found that sustainability will become, by 2025, it will become one of the top 3 priorities for the industry. So there are a number of factors which we need to see, that how the industry is going to shape up, what are the new technologies which are going to come up, and what are the new trends which are going to evolve. Those who are able to align with those trends will be able to make the double-digit growth, and those who will be lagging behind will continue to struggle.
Sure. Mr. Mishra, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for dropping in today.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.